All right. So just gonna keep it like this. I'm not doing any streaming, any of that. Just, just talk. Um, I think I'll probably share the link in a little while. I mean, I know there's a lot of lives going on. I don't expect a lot of people to come here, but I just kind of, I don't know. Just part of my brain is kind of just like fed up with chaos, where I don't I kind of think there's just kind of like a need for more of like a sobering discussion of a lot of kind of what's going on, and to kind of at least like think about this kind of like more like an adult, like not trying to be like fuck this person, fuck that person. I mean, I think just like so much like reprehensible shit has been done. um but uh but yeah, so came at a perfect time. None uses down. Oh, I didn't know. I don't know what's going on over there. Hey, Zuzu. But I guess like I'm just gonna kind of clarify. I kind of just was watching a lot of clips. I'm just gonna kind of clarify where it's coming from on a lot of things. So here's just kind of my understanding of a lot of things. Where let's say like we're talking about like the conviction, no victim. Okay, I mean, as a general statement, it sounds reprehensible, has horrible implications for all of the like survivors in the community. Just as a general statement, I think PHI would agree with that. Like if you just are like saying in a blanket statement, no conviction, no victim, and bad guy like voiced his story, and I don't necessarily think this is like the safe place to do that. I mean, but if that like affected him in a genuine way, I think you know he's entitled to that reaction. But from what I just know is that statement was made specific to what she was talking about, and I just kind of think that a lot of people are jumping the gun. It's like people would just get into like a very heated discussion or whatever. Like clearly that's someone going through a very like crazy thing. Like imagining if like a relative or something was like caught with it, then you have to answer to it all of a sudden, which I do not agree with. I've never believed in that as a catcher at all. I just think I don't care if it's their son. I don't care if it's their whatever. I don't think that someone can make a pedophile, or if they did it or whatever it is. I just think that's something that uh, you know, it just has nothing to do with anything other than the person. Full stop. That's been my position from the beginning, and it just kind of seemed like it was like a very heated exchange how that went down. So then she made the statement specific to her case: no conviction, no victim. So what does that mean? She just believes her son, and there's nothing wrong with that. She believes her son. Full stop. And then kind of just like getting into like a heated conversation, and also kind of being pushed to like maybe say like something that's kind of true is when your emotions are high, your self efficacy level is low. So you're not you might say something that might not have too good optics, this and that, just because it's like it's a heated moment. And the other thing even about like I'm gonna find all the information about uh you know like someone being raped by their uncle, and like posting that I think that was very like to me. It was just very clear that that meant like kind of like you don't see me doing that because basically they're using someone's like family relative against them. And whether or not people agree with it, people just go back and forth on that. That's what's in my mind. That's how I'm seeing it. And I feel like I've been, like pushed and pulled to try to like go to the other side. And there's a very clear reason why that's not going to happen because I just refuse to be manipulated. And, where I'm at, like kind of like I don't know what we call it, like at the like call it sides or whatever for now. Um, like the people in my circle have never tried to manipulate me. Even there was even times like Peach, I even said like like just because it's so crazy, like I don't want you to face anything for it, or even then you said that like I don't want you to face anything for it, like so like you can even just like kind of like go to the other side or whatever it is. And I just think I don't necessarily, I wouldn't do that for one good reason because I don't want to give in to manipulation. And that's really what it is. So, I mean, that's just kind of like a sobering clarification, just like at least what's in my mind and like how I'm seeing it. But like I mean there was like a catch where it was like I think it's like with the catch, like if you like chat logs are clearly there and everything, and like I think I remember that like that autistic predator that me and Wolf caught, like she's seeing the chat log, she knew what she did, she knew he did what he did, and like the evidence is like literally right there, yet she kind of like flipped out on like me and Wolf. I think that's kind of like over the top. Like sometimes the family members like flipping out and condoning it, but it's like there's gonna be times where it's like in a case where they're just gonna believe the relative. Like whether it's even and I mean, it's possible that it's even it's even I mean, it's possible someone can be wrongfully accused too. But it's like for whatever reason, I just can't fault someone for solely believing their son. I don't see the argument for it. Nor do I see the argument that you should just give in to I guess like the narrative of that. Well, like one, like somehow there's a conflict of interest. I mean, I don't even want to like call it conflict of interest because it's just that's not what it is. That's not what conflict of interest means. Like learn what conflict of interest is. That's not what that is. That would be like if that would be like if she was a judge or something. That makes zero sense. Like if you're a predator catcher, you're investigating online predators, and either putting that information out or turning that information in, completely separate from that case, no conflict of interest. But just saying that, like if it's found that a relative is, you know, going through some kind of a legal battle with something, I just don't believe and never believe that has anything to do with anything but that person. And that's my stance. That really is. Um, and I don't know, people like saying like I'm like changing up on the red button thing or whatever, with like I was kind of saying about like Ed or whatever. Um, I mean, if it was PHI yourself, that would make sense. Like I think, and if like that person was on the case themselves, like let's say someone brought their relative on the catch that was going through that case, I could see that. That would be an argument. There would be no argument there. But I don't see the argument of just saying if you inherently have a relative that's being accused of something, that reflects on you. I fully reject it. But what I do think can happen is like when you're being attacked and you're like you're kind of being forced to answer to something that you really didn't even do. I mean, like, let's keep it real. Like, it really has nothing to do with the other than the person that's being accused. Like, in a heated argument, you might say things that just have very bad optics. And I can just from my point of view, I just think that that's exactly what happened. Like, people have taken things out of context. When something has a specific meaning, a very clear specific meaning, it's like made out to be it's like as a general like a generalization. And the reason why I'm not gonna buy into that is because I just know the context, and context is important. So yeah, that's just something that's like one thing I wanted to say, but I do want anything that I stand for to be on the side of certainly on the side of people coming out with their story and able to even face their accuser. And obviously, like, even though that was not the meaning, like the general statement of like I'm not like buying into the general statement of no conviction, no victim. I mean, come on. You really think I believe that? No. I mean, I don't think anyone believes that. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's a wild statement, you know? Um and like anything like go on MVCat to be about is about empowering people to, like come forward and everything, and making it very clear that that you know that they should be able to identify the abuse as fully on them, like whether or not it goes through the legal trials of it. Right, the haters are gonna run with Krampa as always. Yeah, and I kind of think that's what happened to a large degree. I mean, I don't know. People can like if people are gonna be streaming this, it's what it is. I don't care. Like, people probably gonna chop this up and take some out of context, and they're like, "What am I gonna like?" I'm kind of just getting tired. Like, and then am I just gonna be like fighting over something for the next week of something that I didn't say, or it's very clear that I didn't mean, and then I have to answer for something else, you know? And I feel like that's just kind of what's been going on. It's like a bunch of chickens with their head cut off, just running around, and I don't think that's productive. I mean, people like are all on the internet, like they're. I mean, I'm identified. My name's Ryan Couture. Like, I never hid my identity. Um, but there's like a lot of people. Like, and I noticed that like the most like vile accounts are the most anonymous accounts. I noticed like it's a very interesting correlation between uh, being vile and saying vile things with anonymity. So it's a strange correlation. I just noticed that. No, I've never been accused of anything ever. I have a bad driving record. I got a couple points on my record. My car insurance is pretty high as a result. Been to a couple accidents. That's what you'll find on me. But yeah, I'm talking about kind of just like how it's been kind of how it's been going. And it's like as tensions rise, and as like it just kind of gets more and more at hand, and as things are just being taken out of context and everything, and just being like thrown around, it just kind of turns into an angry mob attacking each other, and that's not productive. But I would just say, like, I mean, there's kind of like a whole thing about like people trying to like say like as if like they know other people. Like, really, no one knows someone unless they meet them in person. You know? Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually true. Just kind of as a story. I mean, I tell it as like a crazy story, like like oh shit, this happened. But yeah, like I was actually at a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through, and that was like when I had my second seizure. The first one I didn't even know I had a seizure, but the second one I did. And then I woke up in an ambulance, and they said like my car got totaled and everything, and I was like I had a seizure, and I was like I was kind of disbelief because I identified as a person that didn't have seizures, like getting epilepsy that late in life. It's like so you know. But yeah, that's still been my driving record, kind of rambling, but yeah, um, but yeah, just in general, I think just at a certain extent, I mean, it's almost kind of like I don't know, I don't even know what to call it. Like, there's nothing really like whatever this is, so it's hard to call it anything or categorize anything. But it's just kind of to me, it just sounds like an angry mob, like attacking each other, and I've been in it because it's like some people. I mean, it's kind of to an extent like however it is to be in chat, but if you're just like if you see a bunch of people like lying on what you're saying and lying on like what you're associated to and then lying about what they're doing and what they're saying and you're just like I mean how are you not going to want to like I'm an upfront person. I'd be the worst. I probably would be like the worst. Like if I ever had a charge or a conviction, I would be the absolute worst defendant. I would because I do not shut up. Like if someone says something that's like false about me, whatever, I'm going to voice it. Like I have no like impulse to that. Like I don't like not speak on something, And it kind of is like it's kind of like a habit. Like I'm always told to kind of like not, um, kind of like just ignore it. It's drama, this and that. But it's just like it's in my DNA. I'm not that kind of person. I'll never be that kind of person. Either I detach myself or I don't see it at all, or if I see something fucked up, I'm most definitely gonna speak on it. Like it's either way. I've been at 10 times while driving. I feel you. Um, thanks, Verb. But yeah, I probably will let the link happen. I don't want this to be like a throwdown or whatever. Of like a bunch of yelling or anything. Um, but I just kind of think we just have to kind of calm down and have a sober conversation about a lot of stuff without you know um I don't know. It just seems like it's completely out of control. Like half the people were saying that I was like sheltered and like I don't even know the signs of drug addiction or whatever, so I couldn't identify it. And then the same person's accusing me of doing coke. So I'm kind of confused of what even they're saying. Like, is it you got to kind of pick one? Am I am I sheltered? I'm not able to identify drugs, or am I doing them myself and I'm actually being sloppy with it and leaving them on a table? I am just confused of what this Ryan character is here, or what it's made to be. But yeah, and the narrative that Nunya and PHI put you up to talking. Yeah, I just hit the shit. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I just like the reason why the people in my circle are in my circle, if anything, is because anytime I've either disagreed, we haven't seen eye to eye, or I just did something on my own. Like I think she's even live, and I just kind of said like, you know what? I just kind of want to speak on some shit. I just kind of watched a couple panels back, and I just kind of want to speak on shit. Not much thought into it. I just created the StreamYard link, and I click live, and I'm live, and here I am. There's no thought or calculation in that. Like really, no one can control me. Like I don't buy into manipulation at all. Like I would rather, you know, I'd rather be free than anything. That's just kind of my thinking. These people have a complete picture of who I am and how I think. When I ever say are facts, when all I ever say are facts. Yeah, I'm just reading comments. That's not me saying that. And yeah, I mean, keeping it real, I kind of like the way I kind of see it is it's like I feel like the other side, if I want to call it that, for the sake of argument, is kind of trying to like kind of pit me against like old people that are in my circle or whatever, and like kind of buy into their straw mans of what they said when I know what they said. Like the reason why that's never gonna happen is because you can't change my mind unless I'm convinced. No amount of yelling, no amount of using my mom's death against me, no amount of using my girlfriend's death against me. I mean, I might get upset, but it's not going to change my mind. It's not going to convince me. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to drop what I think is true and be like, okay, I just don't want this bad thing to happen to me. So I'm going to give into it and and just to fit in. That mechanism, that's impossible for me. That'll never happen. All that'll happen is a bunch of continued disconnect and conversations and rising tensions and angry mobs yelling at each other. That's what's going to happen, you know? But yeah, um, yeah, but I think I mean a good amount of a lot of these issues it's kind of like I kind of think a lot of this like this kind of like whatever this is hasn't I can't even describe that compared to anything. I mean, some people kind of call it like a Netflix series or whatever. This is almost like a Netflix series. I really can't compare it to anything because nothing in my life has ever been like whatever this is. Like this doesn't happen in the real world. Like if I have like a problem with someone, whatever, I'll be like, all right, I'll just work it out and resolve it. And usually it's kind of like done with very quickly because I live in a world with adults. But here, it's just not the case. It's kind of like a different world, you know. It was kind of like true with the like the Brenda thing and the Bill thing. Like I kind of just believed it was gonna be just very clear that like like Brenda's credibility. Like I always saw her as just a very wise person. Like there's no way they're just gonna like not see that, you know. And here that didn't happen, and people can't think something similar is kind of going with Nunya too. But I think like like as like rising tensions kind of happen, it's like let's say like maybe you wouldn't dock someone. Maybe you wouldn't do such and such to someone. You kind of think of yourself as like, yeah, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do this. But then, like, as someone just keeps like doing a bunch of fucked up shit to you, at a certain point, you know, that can consume you. And you know, like I kind of just think it's kind of turned what was kind of like a good space. I was sound like a Kurt of the space into to an ugly place, and that's why because people just aren't resolving things like an adults. It's a giant food fight. People are clearly taking things out of context and then just like building on it and building on it and building on it, and and yeah, that's kind of just what happened. Haters, insecurity, low self esteem, and deep envy. But yeah, and that's kind of another thing. Like, you really think like any of that would ever convince me to just be like, I'm just gonna give up what I actually think is true to just stop this bad thing from happening to me? That will never happen. Like, if anything, it will reinforce why I am. Like, all that will do is that is just reinforce kind of why I'm trusting the people I'm trusting and why I'm in the circle that I'm in, because they haven't done anything manipulative like that to me. That's coming from that's just coming from my mind. Like that's just it, you know. I think it probably will drop the link if anyone wants to come up rather. If I have audio issues, I'm on my phone. But yeah, and people kind of wonder why I defend PHI because, like, like how it really went down. Like, people can be like, "Oh, she used her donations for, like she didn't even her card didn't even break down, and she's like grifting the donations. She's like rolling in the dough, and like she was like dope sick." And it's like, here's like when like what you really see, like with your own two eyes, is like when you drove that car for 3 hours and you can clearly tell that every single time there probably was some mechanical issue, whatever it was real because it looks real because it looks like a car that's been through a lot of mechanical issues, and it did look like she was just like powering through being very sick and just doing a catch anyway. Like I almost did a catch. I remember when I was living back in New York, I took a seizure and I was like I had a lead. It was almost going to be a catch, but he just like flaked last minute. But I was like so like fed up, like I was like so fatigued after I took a seizure. I took a seizure like on a coach, I think. And I was like, I was gonna do the catch, but I was like, man, this is gonna kick the shit out of me. But she just like I saw a person that was just like very sick and powered through that to catch pedophiles. And then I think like all she got in return was to be called insults or whatever, and basically with definitely nothing to show for it, like grifting for money. Bro, you could fake a catch and make way more money. You could fake a catch, get fake people, get fake craziness going on, and make more money. Anyone saying that a catcher is doing it for money, unless they're like, unless there's just money to show for it, you know, unless it's like a scam or something, like a straight up scam. Um, but if pretty much the margins of catching, they're not, uh, they're not that lucrative. I'll tell you that. Like when we do get a donation, it goes against the expenses, but we're like, are we like really like, oh shit, I'm rolling the dough. I got like a little bit of money going against my expenses. I won. Like, come on. That's crazy. So like I could see if someone like maybe built like a big catching empire or whatever off of like sensationalizing it or whatever. Maybe someone was going on with Vitaly or whatever. I could kind of see that. But I don't see how genuinely trying your best to catch predators and operating on very low margins. And I guess, yeah, I mean, accepting donations, um, but like barely being monetized in a small channel, like where everyone's gonna like be up your ass about like every single penny, about like every single pocket, about every single thing you said. That's gonna drive anyone crazy. If it was you, it would. I don't care. Like you could say it wouldn't. I guarantee that would drive you nuts. If you're willing to put your like, your like self on the line to catch predators. I'm not saying like predator catchers were need to be like put on a pedestal, but it's like if you just like put in all this work, you had to read like chat logs and everything, and kind of do everything you got to do to get a predator, and you're just like, oh wow, I feel like I did something good for just a bunch of people in the world. Just call yourself like a scammer or a grifter or the worst things in the book. I don't know. That's just like a slap in the face. But I think if it was about like money or clout or whatever, you would have fucking stopped. This like the day that happened to be like, oh, actually, people don't like predator catchers. It's like an angry mob. You know that's ridiculous. Yeah, I think Alex kind of like he started as like like a predator catcher who was catching kind of a low scale, but like there's just no amount of um like you can't be that motivated to do something for extrinsic reasons. So like go around the country and just like put in that much hours or whatever. Like I remember even like I remember it was like I went to I met them up in New York or something, and then I was like tired of that, and then they said they're going to Ohio. There's no way money is like that much of a motivator. It's like they do it like they post convictions all the time, So like I mean, I don't really say unless you're like you have like a substantial amount of money and it's clearly like you're sensationalizing it. That's kind of another thing, but it's just like anyone really calling anyone a grifter, I just think is ridiculous. Unless it's always like a scheme. I kind of thought like maybe with Cam, it's like something that just doesn't have to do with catching. Like let's say it's like I'm gonna do like a gift card raffle or this or that or whatever it is. It's just like has nothing to do with catching. Or selling vacuums or some shit. Something other than predator catching. I could kind of see that or using that as a platform for it. But other than that, I mean, you're really gonna pocket watch every donation or whatever. Like, and a lot of these people, it's just kind of like that. I just don't think it's a hurt enough point. It's not like those people are doing it like better. It's not like those people are, you know, uh, I like to see them do a catch. I like to see them try to do it. And they could just be like, I'm not a catcher. But it's like, really you're kind of just like, you're certainly selling your ass and saying how it should be done. You're saying I should manage every single penny that they get when they're not even asking for it. You're certainly just focusing on the low lates and ignoring the fact that a predator got exposed and turned in. You're certainly doing that, right? So like the coach catcher thing is just like, you know, I think it's some bitch shit. I think like maybe like there could be, some criticism like here and there. I guess like constructive criticism. But I think other than that, it's almost like it's anti-predator catching, and I always thought that was gross. But yeah, I mean, I'll like post a link if someone's come up, but I don't see anyone wanting the link unless they do want to speak on it. But like at a certain point, it's just like you know, like what is this whole thing about a community of like 30-year-old plus adults, so-called adults, basically having a food fight without even resolving, even being able to have a conversation behind the scenes or whatever, or talking like adults. There's no even attempt at that. It's just like this big debacle, just big yelling or whatever, and just like straw manning what each other are saying, and then using that against them to score points. That's just stupid. Those people have Down syndrome. No, I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. Look how many activity try to take down. Look how many actively try to take down catchers. I think that's what she meant. Or even trying to get a predator catcher to quit, like backing them in a corner. Like after a while, I mean, it can get mentally tiring. You know, to be like pocket watch and everything, and be accused of things you just didn't do. But I think it kind of says more about them that they're willing to, even after all that, even after even something that should be, I mean, you shouldn't do it for the thanks, but basically turning it into a thankless job, but just keep going just because of your original purpose going into it. If there's anything that shows that that motive is genuine, it's that. And if you disagree with that, fuck out of here. No conversation about that. Full stop. We don't agree and we never will in a million years. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that there's been a lot of immaturity going on. Um, I mean, and I can feed into it. I get kind of dragged into it. Too. Like when like I would just go on a panels, kind of like it starts where like I'll try to like I'm trying to detach myself from this shit, and then like I'll hear about someone saying something that like it's clearly I didn't mean to like they're taking something completely out of context and basically saying I said something else or accusing me of something I didn't do. And yeah, I mean, there's just I'm incapable of changing that part of my mind that won't speak on that. Like not gonna happen. Like I'll be like that until I'm dead. Like if that's a disease or whatever, it's incurable. You know, that's kind of just where I'm at with it. But yeah, but the people watching, I mean, don't they think it's just kind of crazy what's going on? Like it's just you know, like what is like what's a bunch of adults doing like having basically acting like children, like just having like an irrational conversation, just like, you know, not even like screaming over each other and everything and taking everything out of context. It's like no one's just gonna calm down, actually try to even attempt to find out where someone's actually coming from. Like who's actually trying to be like, okay, so what did you mean when you said no conviction, no victim? Like just what did you mean? What did you mean when you said this and that? Like what did you mean? And if you're just not willing to have that conversation, I think it just kind of says that your mind's made up before you even had a full comprehension of what even happened in the situation. Where it's kind of like politics. Now I kind of know what it's almost like to be. It's like a mini simulation of politics, like where you'll just kind of be on the campaign trail trying to make your case, and then someone will just like clip something and then just use it against you. He said like, "Oh, he said, oh, he spoke against this. He said this like no, we shouldn't be in war. So that means he must hate the veterans." And then let's like if you said something that kind of sounded like that, and then you have to answer for that for a month. Like that's just I don't know. That's stupid if you ask me. Yeah, exactly right. They don't really care about the answer if their mind is made up. That's really true. It's like I could see genuinely being like, "Whoa!" I mean, I don't like what that sounded like. I want to kind of hear what you meant by that. You didn't really mean to say that, right? But there's no adult conversation. Like, did you notice there's absolutely no kind of even attempt at an adult conversation going on? None. This is a food fight. Yeah, I think I'll just like throw out the link. Um, just cause. Yeah. Is it even Halloween? I'm completely off. I don't even know. I don't even know if it's Halloween. Is that today or tomorrow? Demons from Our Word revived Gen A on Halloween. You can't make this shit up. I don't even know what to make of that. I mean, I just I kind of was like, oh shit, she really died. I mean, we didn't end on the best terms. She seems like I kind of thought like there was kind of good in her that but she seemed kind of just like very like kind of like an ideologue, and I was kind of sad that she did die. And I don't know what's going on. That's kind of freaky because it's like weird that I already kind of like processed that she died and now like she's undead. So I'm like, I don't even know what to make of that, but yeah, I just see that. Now I'm kind of like now I'm just talking about other stuff in chat. I'm just kind of because I think I kind of got to the main crux, if you will, about what I was saying. The demonic forces work in October. Yeah, I don't know anything go on today, or I kind of feel like I missed the panel activity. Even within an hour, like you can't miss something. They're asking on you. That's it. Yeah, what's like? I mean, just get yeah. What's an example like the latest thing like they're dragging her in like for? Can't even remember. This is so many things. I call Nunya a predator. See, that's what I mean, bro. Like calling Nunya a predator, like that's just like what are you talking about? Yeah, I was, and I kind of think like I'm human. Like it's what it is. But then I kind of think like what is a better way to resolve this? Like we could kind of. I mean, the reality is like I'm just not. I just don't think I should answer to like someone talking about like as if someone knows me in real life or like what would happen or could happen when someone's like anonymous or whatever like someone like in what England being like oh I'm gonna fuck you up and their name's like um I don't know Poopy Head from fucking England or Texas like that is like that takes nothing to do that you could be a 12-year-old and do that that takes no courage you know. And then when you like after a while you have a reaction, they're like, "Hi, I got a reaction out of you," or whatever. And then they'll say, "Oh, if I did actually pull up, then you would call the police, whatever, or something like that." So like that's just bitch shit. That's bitch shit. Period. There's no way around it. Um, you know, like and like there's a clear correlation to people like saying vile shit and doing vile shit and hiding behind a keyboard and you not knowing who they are. Like we don't know who Big Moose is. He wasn't doxxed. He lied about that. Um, we don't know who Warbot is. We don't know who any of these people are. There's a very clear correlation of people that say the most vile shit that are also hiding behind a keyboard and not doing shit. It's easy to not do shit. It's easy. I mean, I could even make a fake account and do the same thing. It doesn't take any effort. But yeah, fuck drama shit. You're so much better than that. Just don't bother. That's the thing. I really like honestly though, like and this kind of just won't change. Um if I see myself lied about publicly, um, there's just no way. Like you're making a river, trying to make a river flow in the opposite direction. There's just no way on planet Earth that I'm not gonna respond to it. Like I'm kind of, it's like I'm hardwired to not be able to shut up or not be able to not take everything at kind of like face value. There's no way. Um, like if because it actually got the only time because like wanna know what happened was like I did that. I actually tried that, and they wanted me back so bad that they accused me of being a pedophile. What happened in 2016? I don't know. What happened in 2016? I turned 22. That's all I remember. Maybe a couple tickets. I'm not sure. But like and then I kind of came in through that, and I kind of been in it ever since. But there's no way. And then if I like didn't speak on it, then they probably would think that or whatever. Then I'm like, yeah. I mean, there's just no way that I won't that I won't be I don't know. You could even call it reactive or whatever it is. That's just I just believe in always being like transparent or whatever, and just being like straight up. And that's just like how I am in real life. That's how I am here. And there's no way that that can change. Like I'm actually saying I can't change with that. Like maybe someone could say, well, actually, you shouldn't even ignore that. You should just not say anything. You should just tune it out. Guess what? I can't tune it out. There's no way. So, God, that's just the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person I always been. Like if I got shit, if I got like if I ever was a defendant, and the lawyers always say, "Oh, you gotta shut up, can't say anything." That's gonna be the time I'm done in. Like if I'm like somehow accused of like a murder or something, robbing a bank, and they connected to me or whatever, and then the best lawyer in the world, could not shut me up. The best lawyer in the world. That would be my own. It could be my own downfall. It could be my own good bad quality, whatever it is. But there's definitely no changing that. It's impossible. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's that's what it is. Like I can't really do that. I mean I can maybe change my focus or whatever. But to an extent, I just kind of don't have the ability to not um you can grow from acknowledging your weaknesses and embracing them. And I don't know, I mean, call it a weakness or whatever it is, it is what it is. And I kind of don't see a reason to change or whatever with that because it's not like this is like a normal situation. Like this isn't a situation that is, I don't think, ever there's any precedent for or anything like that. Like there's a giant. It's kind of like if there was like like a situation where someone was being like targeted online. It was about like one thing or whatever, but like in this case, it's like a giant food fight, a giant clusterfuck about like many different distortions about like many things involving many different people, and everyone just kind of yelling at each other. And this whatever this is, it just seems like it's. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. That's why I find myself kind of not able to kind of know what to do. I'm kind of like I kind of do think about this. I'm like, what what should I even do? Like what is the best way? I mean, I guess like it probably is like ignore it, but there's no way that I can change that aspect where I just won't be outspoken about something. There's really no way. Could be. I don't know. Now, the only thing I was ever diagnosed with was ADHD and OCD. That's it. Which are only disorders. Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, the smart thing could be pleading the fifth. Wait, hold on. Sometimes saying nothing is a beneficial move. Well, guess who's never, ever, ever gonna make a beneficial move? Me. Because that's just like I will never invoke the fifth. Like every time, like I had I was like even like questioned by the police. It could be like a traffic stop or whatever. Like I'd always just say like exactly what happened. You know, there's no way I'm just gonna be like a person that I'm just gonna like not say anything and be like I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna not say anything. Or I won't ask questions. That's just that kind of brain is a different kind of brain than my brain. That don't work. But yeah, I think just now was kind of like a bunch of ridiculous lies. Like I actually got to get my phone to a charger. I'm at 17%. And usually when my battery starts getting low, what's just happened is sometimes the sound quality can get bad. One or two, Ryan, is stopping you from doing what you here to do, bro. You got 100 to 1 on your side, man. Don't ever let it get to you, man. I mean, that's true. I mean, it's not necessarily rational. A lot of times, like I'll just admit that a lot of sometimes a lot of the things I say and do, they're just not in my best interests. Straight up. I mean, the only thing I can probably say is like it's pretty much impossible to be it's pretty much impossible to manipulate me, you know, in the sense of like making me change my mind on something. But what is true is is yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like if I see something like wrong, even like about maybe like kind of what's being done with PHI too. Like I just will have to speak on it. Like if I see someone that like powered through being like very, very ill and it's just going to catch predators and I see them only trashing them and just making up lies when I'm a person that's actually caught with her, there's just no way. There's no way that I'm not going to defend that person. Like there's no way that I'm not gonna come to my people's defense, like my friend's defense or whatever it is. There's just no way. Like maybe it might not be a good idea all the time, but then guess what? I'm not gonna be doing a good idea all the time. You know, every day we add two, and they repeat it like it was valid. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, something I would just say is, I mean, I'm actually very thankful of, like, despite all the chaos, I've never felt more, um, like, I don't know, like, I do feel like a lot of people are in my corner. Like, I do feel like I have like, a strong sense of support, you know? Like, I think that, like, it's kind of like, even though everything's as chaotic as it is, I kind of wouldn't want to take back, just a lot of the good people that I've met and everything. And yeah, that's kind of really what's true. Like I really feel like at kind of like any given point in time, I can go to my people. And my thinking though on the flip side is if my people like either my friend or whatever, they're being like either mistreated or whatever, like there's just no way that I'm not going to speak on that because it's wrong. Like if you see like your friend being lied on, you know, you should step in. You should say that didn't happen. You should give. I think it's like the right thing to do is to complain. The problem is here is that wrong shit is happening way more proportionally with the real world. So in the real world, how it kind of should go down is like something like that, where let's say your friend or whatever is being like completely like falsely accused, or their words are being twisted, or they're being ganged up on, or whatever. You know, yeah, you defend them, but that should happen like maybe I don't know. If like pretty crazy, maybe like once a year. But this shit's happening on the daily, and that kind of part of my mind that kind of just would come to my people's defense. Like it just kind of it kind of works to a fault, where it's like, you know, I'm always going to be speaking on shit. That's not that can be counterproductive too. But I still think that we should kind of have like a standard, is if we if there's actually an issue, if there's actually a problem, we should attempt at first to have a conversation, maybe probably behind the scenes, ideally. Like I would always say that. And I don't even give a fuck about if it's being recorded. I'm doing like I feel like it's gonna be. We've been hashing shit out publicly anyway. I don't care about being recorded. I don't. I mean, you know, I don't feel like I'll say something I'll regret. Um, you know, but I feel like if it's direct behind the scenes, it'll just be more sincere. So I think like that would be a good start. Is if maybe the first thing we do is we at least try to you know try to resolve behind the scenes, or try to you know, I guess if it's going to be public, it's at least done in a sober tone. But you know, then it's like if they're kind of just trying to sensationalize or whatever, they're like, no, I'm not gonna have a conversation or whatever. I'm just gonna publicly flip out. Well, then that's a tantrum. That poorly reflects on them. Yeah, hold on. I'm sure like this shit's gonna be even be clipped and twisted, you know. Certainly something very different than what I'm actually saying. It was very clear that yeah, no, I know. And some Bryden does if anyone's like subscribed to his channel, there's kind of quite a few of them, but he I guess he posts like sex offenders or predators like in sentence and everything. I kind of just stumble into it a little bit. You know, his channel's pretty good. It's worth a watch. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Because it's not the thing is like a lot of people saying like, yo, this is like unproductive. It's just drama. Like, shouldn't be getting into it. They're not really wrong, you know, because it is counterproductive. But it's just like it's kind of like just this innate trait. Um, I can't really shake. And I don't think I ever will. You know, trying to think of what I mean. And it's like I feel like the first time I tried to do that, it just got like it's like they try to get you back so much that you would think that if you like don't say anything, like if you just don't say anything or don't feed into it or whatever, or you don't make or whatever, like you don't go on panels, you would think that, oh, there's nothing really to talk about. But it's like now what it's like is when you leave, it's like it's almost like they lose their fix on you, and then they try to do whatever they can, even if it means like accusing you of being a pedophile, um, which they did. I mean, there was a picture of like a mugshot or whatever, um, with my ears pierced when I don't have my ears pierced at all. Saying like something happened in 2016, and I'm just like, again, I could ignore it. I'm not gonna ignore it. There's no way. Um, so I don't know. I mean, all I can kind of say is I just think that uh, like the real people should have at least try to like if they actually want to resolve something, there should be an attempt at an adult conversation. Yeah, that's literally true. Yeah, it's literally true. Like they like there was like this account ask Ryan why, which I answered. Like I was like the only thing I did when I was 22. The only thing I did in 2016 was I turned 22. That I remember. And it basically being insinuated that I was like even an RSO or whatever. And there's just no way. Even if it's like probably the more productive thing to do is just probably not say anything. There's no way I'm not gonna say anything. No way. If someone was like trying to like troll or whatever, it worked because that part of my brain won't go away. That part of my brain where I'm gonna like speak on anything that's like either false or whatever, like that's not gonna go away. Like hopefully, that's why I would be the worst person to invoke the fifth because I would never invoke the fifth. Like even if I was accused of being of a crime that I didn't do, I would still be like, I would still talk because I would still be like, I would say what happened. Even if the optimal thing to do is to say nothing, I would do everything but that. Even if it was someone else, being falsely accused, I'd have to speak on that. But yeah, despite trolling, there's nasty, vile, horrific statements. There's real people and there's people looking to fuck with you. Yeah. What I learned is don't do crimes with Ryan because he will tell. Nah, JK. I mean, if I didn't do it, I would say I would go get all into how I didn't do it because I didn't do it. That's probably what happened. There's nothing like anything I see in real life. There's nothing like anything I see in real life. Been in chats mid 2000s, never like this place or stuff allowed to happen. Yeah, that's really true. Like, and that's why I certainly kind of feel yeah. I mean, even though I've lived 30 years of life so far, I kind of feel like in a lot of ways that um I'm just kind of like how do I not know how to navigate the situation? Like, shouldn't I just know what to do? Like, because usually like if I'm having any kind usually if I'm having any kind of like either disagreement or conflict, I'll eventually come to the the right resolution in my head and I'll resolve it in the real world. But here, it just doesn't happen. It is infiltration, Ryan. Yeah. I kinda think it's a little bit of that too. But yeah. Hey Cooper, what's up? Yeah, I really hope you're doing well and everything. I haven't seen you actually in a while. Ryan voted for Ryan in 2019 on Blood. What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. Yeah, Kupai actually made the original IndieCap intro, which I'm not really into having intros. I'm just kind of like, it's kind of like how I start lives. I just kind of like want to get into it. Like I want to be like, I'm gonna play music, din din din, din din din, din, and then and then just do this whole production, and then do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm just kind of like, even with this, I just create the live. I click the red button or whatever button it is, whatever color button. I think it's blue actually. Next one live. But yeah, but he actually created the original intro for the cat. I actually liked it. I wanna put that back in. I think I gotta put that back in the new ones. Probably with different footage though. Remember Koopa from PvP? He means what he means, not what you mean. I think be keeping up with the Alaskan Avenger. He is out of prison and doing lives. Doing life? Is this a predator? Yeah, I feel like it's too quiet. I'm gonna open a window. So there's some live ambient traffic. Maybe you'll hear a couple police chases. Yeah, sometimes it'll be quiet like this, and just out of nowhere there'll be a whole I don't know what you even call it. Like a bunch of like emergency services just driving through the road. So glad I didn't know about YouTube panels until 2 years ago. I met great people, but I never had conflict in my online life or offline life before coming here. That's really true. I mean, I don't think anyone here has ever had this much conflict. And it's kind of just like, I kind of feel like I'm ODing on the conflict. It's like it's so much conflict. He's the one that got locked up for life for taking a hammer to the Preds. Oh shit. Well, he should be made king in prison. They should be rolling out the red carpet. And sneak him in whatever phones he wants or whatever. Basically just make life very similar to you should live a lavish life. Or ideally not be in prison. I don't know. I don't think we can undo that. Maybe. He is oh he's he's that's a good ending. I thought alright, he's out. That's good. It's going viral now, standing up for survivors. I gotta hear about that actually. I didn't know about that. I mean, I'm not a vigilante personally, but it's kind of I'm kind of sympathetic to a vigilante. Like if I see a story like someone fucked up a pred, I have no issue with someone fucking up a pred. He's live now, bro. Um, I thought it was reversed too, Ren. Oh, he's taking two preds. Got it. Yeah, I thought it was like the name of a predator or something, like the Hammer Avenger. I've just seen so many crazy names, you know. Yeah, but actually, yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, if you wanna drop the link for that, I mean, you're a mod, you can. Yeah, if he's live now, but I don't want to take away from Ryan's. I mean, unless I mean, I don't know. What do y'all want to do? You'll decide what to do. I just can't. I just can't decide if I want to bring people there or just stick around. Whatever here is going on, or maybe they could go there and talk about it. I'm all good for whatever. I'm indecisive. It's like when you're trying to decide like what to either do or watch or whatever. I'm undecided. I don't know. I think those are kind of going well, but that sounds pretty cool too. I don't know. How many mods up here in jail been to jail for domestic violence? How many mods in here have been in jail for domestic violence? I don't know. What do you mean? I've still never had any issues, but then again, my brain is messed up, and I wouldn't know if someone had a problem with me. Oh, gotta watch. Vigilantism could be reversed on you. We need law and order and done the right way, and I cannot spell well. I mean, I guess. I mean, you know, like that's not the ideal system. I mean, I guess we gotta have a justice system, but I think if it happens, like some dude, if I hear a story like some dude took a hammer to Preds or whatever, I'm just not mad at it. Maybe that's not. Maybe I'd agree that's not like generally how situations like that should be dealt with or whatever. Like, put a predator. My thing is like I just think a predator should just be put in jail and just rot their entire life, and I think that's worse than death. Because then, like, if you think about it, like, what is life? You know, you're nothing for infinity, and then you live whatever sliver of life you have in your life. Well, I'm gonna pin that. I'm gonna pin it. And then you're nothing for the rest of your life after you die. So it's like to really rot in prison. I mean, I just think like that's kind of. I just think that's the best thing. That's the best thing that can happen. But um, and I really I always believe that life in prison is worse than death. That's just my opinion. Maybe we just disagree on that. But yeah, I always kind of thought that. I'm actually gonna pin that link. By the way, hold on. I'll be right back. But yeah, but you know, I mean, like being hit with the hammer sucks, but I'm not gonna be mad at it. You know, like predator gets hit with the hammer. Fuck yeah, they get hit with the hammer. Fuck yeah, more than several predators got with the hammer. But you know, but yeah, I mean, most of them get out of prison for good behavior or lodging. Yeah, that's the bullshit. Like in Massachusetts, and the cops do everything they can. It's like I've kind of said this before, so prepare for my speech again. But like, even if we do everything right, even if the cops do everything right, even if the DA does everything right, it's like even if you get them convicted and then you get them sentenced, basically it's still treated like a DUI. And why is that? Based on our laws, the penal code, the justice system, the legislators, whatever that falls on. But that's just kind of how it goes. Is it drags in court forever, and then they plea out, and They don't got a scratch. They don't even face prison time. I hope like some of the predators. I think I caught 2 now that have reoffended. So I just hope they throw the book at them. Fuck them. I know. One of them is now a level 3 sex offender. I don't know if they actually. I don't think they were a level 3 sex offender because of anything I did. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. I think it's actually the first offense. One of them, John Brown. That was based on the first time he was caught. And I just hope he gets like, if he like when he does get convicted, which he should get convicted, that they just throw the book at him and you know, yeah. And it's kind of like if they're not getting sentenced, that kind of almost like puts it equal with maybe they should get hit with a hammer. I don't know. We get rid of gangsters beating up shop owners for money. Do not want lawless again in the world coming. I don't know. I mean, someone beating someone up for money, that's just like, no one fucks with that. In your state alone, it's only 3% that get convicted. It's like, bro. Like, what do you mean by that? Does that mean by predator catchers? Is that by people that are charged with child enticement, or what do you mean? Sup, fruitful saint? That was mafia. They took a piece of your profit. I feel we are very limited to what we are able to vote on. Oh, I mean, my thing is like, I think that that there's just an illusion of choice as far as that goes. I mean, like especially like the presidential election, it's a show. I'm completely checked out of that. It's like for 2 reasons, it doesn't matter. One, money in politics, and two, the two-party system. As long as those 2 things exist, it doesn't matter who's president. And any change that'll happen, like between any of the 2 candidates, will be marginal and ineffective at best. That's what I would say. Oh, that's a national average. Um, anyone who is charged. Oh wow, that's bullshit. Actually, I got good word that the guy me and Jay caught that ran through the swamp and took the Uber home has a court date on December 20th. It has been court the whole time. Dude is fighting it and looks like he's taking it to trial. I mean, yeah, I hope he gets wrecked in trial. That's not work for that. My opinion, the prisons and jails need to stop protecting Preds. The prison justice system will finish what their sentence didn't provide. I mean, yeah. At a very actually, like honestly, all I really care about, I don't really care about the conditions of the predators. Really, it's just like as long as they're out of society, then shit. Like they're in prison already, that it'll happen. Damn, brother, my kid keeps crying. I'll be back. He really ain't mine, but you know that goes. Oh, I don't know. That's vote. Yeah. No, he's right. Say you're a Republican in mass. It don't matter. Your vote doesn't count. Yeah. I mean, that kind of. I mean, it's not even that. It's not just like if where your state leans. It's just the entire system. It's just like the real owners of the country is the people that are the donors in the presidential elections. Those are the real owners. Because then they'll donate to the candidates and will barely have a political preference. And they'll work for them and they won't work for you, and that's just it. And it's just like, who do we like, Kamala or Trump? And it's just like it's bullshit. Like it's meaningless. It's a show. Like that's really what it is. Like it's almost like this. Like it's a show. My mother grew up across the street from the Trumps. My mother had watched as Donald threw rocks at an 18-month-old baby, thinking about that. Has he changed? No. Oh my god. Threw rocks at an 18-year-old baby? Yeah, but I don't want to go with politics, but it's just like I'm just kind of checked out on that. We can get into a whole thing about that, but mainly it's like that. My only thing is like is the political issue is just trying to fight for predators getting like sentenced properly and convicted, and that's just kind of my narrative scope. Because like the more it's localized, the more it matters. Like it doesn't matter, but the more it's like the state matters more than the than the presidential than the federal, and local means more than the state. That's kind of what I would say. Oh, how was Trump for? I'm not sure. I'm going to call. I need to give them my cell phone number because I think Jeff leaked my old number. Oh shit. Anyone ever eat at Hell's Kitchen? No. I was like, is that like actually where Gordon Ramsay is? I know that's in New York City, right? Is that drivable? Actually, I'm gonna start that rumor you did. Jeff leaked my old number, and I had to get a new one. Shit. Yeah, did you? Are you saying did you? Connecticut, Ryan Foxwoods. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's not far. It probably costs like $1 billion to go there. But do you hear like Gordon Ramsay? Do you hear like him screaming at everyone? I don't know. I don't see how that would work though. Like if you're at a restaurant, you just hear screaming. I don't know. 100 a plate. Oh, 100 a plate. Damn, bro, you gotta save up for that. You be Jeff with me. Told you. What's the name of his restaurant? That's the name of his restaurant. Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, I just never understood why people could put up with that. Like, I like being in the hot kitchen and being like yelled at, and like a lot of them are like very talented chefs and everything, and they're just still like fighting through it. And then they'll make like one mistake, and Gordon Ramsay will like turn that into like a big thing and then make it seem like they don't know anything about cooking, and I don't know. It's like it's one of the, it's kind of like Burger Kitchen. Like if you're just like watching, you'd probably be like, oh yeah, that dude fucked up, man. But like, bro, can't make an omelet. Like it's a lot harder than it looks. There's a lot of pressure. It's ran as a TV show on it too, bro. I know about the TV show. Actually, I don't know. I don't know why it's kind of coincidence. I've been kind of following that. He beats him down, but brings him up, brings him back up. That's kind of like the military. Oh shit. Yeah, I guess it has to happen. Has to happen. I mean, I can't really question that. Obviously, obviously I'm not running Hell's Kitchen, so I can't really say that that's not the way to go. My favorite episode. I don't know if anyone watched it, but was with Raj. I mean, I don't have anything against the person, but it's just like it was just funny how that dynamic worked or whatever. Like Raj, I don't remember Raj on Hell's Kitchen. He just told people like he said it was they divided it between like the boys and the girls or whatever, the blue team and the red team, and then like he started like getting on everyone's nerves because he was being like, I mean, I guess he's just like kind of slower, I guess, but like he said, you guys are a bunch of snakes, and not being attacked in a harassing manner and all that. I don't know, just the way he just sounded. And then when he was drunk, he would do karate or something. It was I don't know, worth a watch. Happened Hell's Kitchen Rush. I mean, you'll see it. That's all I remember. So do you watch it? I just started watching it. Yeah, I just started watching it on Peacock. I think it's called Peacock, like a streaming service. I got Netflix and Peacock. Do it to kill time. Sounds like Jeff at Every Campfire said. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I think it was his own thing, but he's not sweetheart now, according to government records. Whoa, what do you mean? Whoa, what did he do? He did something? Wait a minute. It's what he did behind the scenes. What did he cook? What did he serve? Elite Epstein people. TV show or Ramsey was not really real. It was like all other shows. What? What do you mean? Haley G? Um, are you saying Raj got a record or something? Or were you saying Hell's Kitchen? I'm confused. I don't know what that meant. Cap ran away scared. Oh, okay. Yeah, what? Yeah, hope the entire chat's doing well. I see no one here has paid attention to Q or drops for years. What's that? No, I don't know. I haven't seen any receipts on that. I've just been watching a Tunzel's Kitchen episode. Yeah, what is going? Yeah, like it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, sometimes like everyone just gets into the same thing, but I've been following two shows like House and Hell's Kitchen. Those are two things I've been following. Yeah, I kind of went into the middle of it. I saw this other one, and it was about hotels, and like he did a hotel show, and like this one guy, he said he only wanted rich people to go to his hotel, so he was like horrible to his employees. The shit actually got shut down. Like he wasn't able to run the hotel well, like he failed. But yeah, the Bates Motel. Yeah, I think that's it, and it's in Vermont or something too. Favorite show is still Martin. I don't know what that is. QAnon is Gomez stuff. Oh, that's what you're saying. Pay attention to Q or it drops for years. Oh, QAnon. Can't forget what that is. Yeah. Oh, that's a sports game or something. I don't even know. I don't even know what sports seasons there are. I don't follow that shit at all. But yeah, definitely check out the pin link. I guess it was a former vigilante, and he now is following and everything. So we're gonna kind of put the nonviolent aside and definitely check that out. I want to bring people to that. She's live. Are you from Canada? No, I'm not. It's a misconception. I sound like I'm from Canada though. I say a boat, like a Canadian, I guess. I've been to Canada once. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Where there was one time, like I was driving from the PHI catch to just back home, or no, actually the other way around. I was going to the catch, and I guess I don't know how it was like between the border patrol or whatever, but I ended the live or whatever. But there was, I guess, just based on how it went, they thought I didn't get in. So then they were running all these videos, well, like, you Ryan didn't get into Canada and all that, and I was in Canada driving for hours, and I was seeing a bunch of videos of how I didn't get to Canada, and I was like, I'm in Canada. But yeah, actually, I think that was going back because the way I went to Illinois, I went to Indiana. I didn't go through Canada, and then the way back to see Niagara Falls, I saw Canada. That's what happened. Been to Colorado once, Keystone, Colorado. There wasn't really much there. There was a mountain. I went to a mountain for the first time.
You heard anything about JFK, RFK, or JFK Jr.? Or do you mean RFK Jr. and Trump? No. Oh, are you in Colorado? Oh shit. Yeah, Colorado's too expensive. Well, actually, Massachusetts is expensive, but Colorado's I think is even more expensive than that. Can't know where I stay at because I don't know what that's about. Yeah, he was showing how illegal immigrants aren't legal. They can vote. Meh, I don't know. Yo, it's 11:59. Are we going into the 31st? Is there a 31st of October? Or are we going to November? Wait a minute. Are we? What day are we going into? Are we going to the 31st or November? I don't even know. I think it's the 31st. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to Halloween. All right. So it's gonna be Halloween. 31st. All right. So it's gonna be the 31st. So it's a minute away from Halloween. And I'm going to go as myself. I have the same costume I've had for probably last probably 20 years as myself. Scary as hell. PHI, what's going on? Yeah, so now it's midnight. Now it's the 31st. Now it's Thursday. I don't know why I'm saying the date the whole time, but yeah. Hi, fuckers. I'm out and have a great night. Yeah, so, yeah, definitely everyone have a great night too. Think the stream had good vibes. I don't know. I'm kind of at the should I stay or should I go part. I can't really decide if I don't know. Sometimes shit will start happening. It'll start getting good. You know, to continue being live. But I don't know. I just go with the flow. Whatever happens. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, Moose is watching. All right. So I'll stay. It'll toss a link. Probably got an hour in me left, but yeah. Yeah, you get to that age where you naturally just start going to sleep early. I remember in my younger years, I would just like stay up like all through the night, and my sleep cycle would get like altered or whatever, and you know just keep going and going. But yeah, but now I just like shut down at a certain time and I wake up at a certain time. It's new. And I started 30 like shit. Like I started 30 with like neck pain or what. I was like thinking I was trying to like cope, going into my 30, like turn 30, as this is gonna be so bad. I mean, I know like there's nothing really that's gonna change. Like I'm 29.9999, right? What's gonna really be different? But I woke up, I felt like 90. I had like a stiff neck. I had a work shift or whatever. And it's like shit. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this the entire decade. But it healed. But yeah, that just was like a bad way to start. I got on a bad start. It's like this is 30 is gonna be like 40. I'm gonna be like in a hospital or something. I don't know. You're a young dude. Hope so. I tried to tell you, Shifty. Yo, shit. If we had more battery life, I'd go for a walk. But I'm at 23%, so that wouldn't be a long walk. Wait till you start getting up super early. So that what happens? Like you just get up earlier and earlier, and then you'll just naturally wake up at like 4 or 5, and then I guess that's a good thing. I mean, because then you're in tune with how the world actually functions. I want to see your crip walk on the street cam. Man, I gotta get down if I do that. I don't know. I can go on the street cam though. Yeah, my battery charging isn't charging though much. I'm still at 23. Not really. People just for career. The Los Angeles Dodgers, the World Series champions. Oh shit. in my early 50s with 6 grandchildren that pass out before I do. Yeah, I think I would be out before them. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, I never went to sleep early when I was a kid. I wake up so late, it was early. Like I remember not sleeping at all for school or whatever, and then like in the very morning, it feeling like it's night still. So I'd be like, I'm in night mode, and then I just crash, and I'd be like, this sucks, and then I pass out after school. Yeah, that's how that went. Oh shit! Oh shit! There's a cop standing on business over there. Someone's getting pulled over, arrested. I don't know. Something's going down. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna end it off. 17-year-old daughter, granddaughter, sleeps what seems like 24/7. Shit. Yeah, something I tried to do um is I don't know if anyone ever heard of polyphasic sleep, but it's like you would sleep in uh different like segments of the day, and that would translate to you sleeping less time, but because you split it up, I guess you get more REM sleep. So like one of them was the Uberman sleep cycle. So you'd sleep for 20 minutes every 4 hours, and you get allegedly enough sleep, but you'd have way more time. So I don't know. I don't think I ever tried it, but I heard of it. Yep. Just gonna hit this end button, and yeah. Oh, you've heard of that? Yeah, has anyone else heard of that? That was the only one. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Shoot me a message. Let me know how you're doing. Yeah, and on an end note, and being restrained by a big moose. Fuck him. Fuck all them. And yeah, in chat. Y'all got no life.